Hi, I'm Richard Randall, and welcome to Your Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker. She's the owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty and the host of the program, the proprietor of the business as well. And this is the weekly radio show that informs and educates you on how to buy or sell real estate. And it does it with Colorado's real estate authority, that is, of course, Barb Schlinker. Barb Schlinker is a retired Navy veteran. Barb is an author. Barb Schlinker is a pilot, and Barb and her team enjoy all that Colorado and the Front Range have to offer. Barb, always great to be talking with you. Now, we air Your Real Estate Voice every Saturday. If you can't listen to the entire show, it's always available on Barb's site, barbhasthebuyers.com, or just go ahead and look for the podcast on all of the popular platforms like iHeartRadio, Spotify, etc. Every week, Your Real Estate Voice covers great information about the housing market. It's up to date, and it's one of the largest assets that the average person has, their home. Barb, what are we going to be talking about today?
Hey, Richard, I'm excited about today's show because it's been really interesting. The last couple of weeks, I've really been deep diving in the statistics of what's going on in the real estate market. And if you just look once a month, it's not enough. It kind of looks backwards, but looking backwards doesn't necessarily tell you what's going to happen right now or going into the future. So I found a better source, and we will talk about whether or not home prices are going to drop in the next few months. And then one of my favorite topics is about negotiating. So this next topic is going to be the top 7 negotiating mistakes and how to avoid them. And just so you know, there's no training on negotiating in the real estate industry. A lot of agents think that they're legends in their own brain and they can definitely do this, but it's not a very commonly taught subject. And many times they're either messengers or they make negotiating mistakes. And the next topic is going to be kind of fun. I did some research about the top home design trends that are going on for 2024, and some of them are very surprising. And then the last topic is a little bit more of a serious topic, but it's starting to tick up a little bit. We're seeing more and more people facing foreclosure, which should not happen. We've had a huge increase in home values over the past 4 or 5 years, but some of those borrowers that bought at the tippy top, somehow they get into financial trouble and then they have to sell right away. Those people many times don't know what to do. So we're going to talk about how to stop a foreclosure, some of the ideas that I have to help people in that situation. And if you know anybody, a lot of times they're very secretive about it. If they're having financial troubles, they may not tell anyone about it. And they wait until the very last minute, or they don't do anything at all. They stick their head in the sand, and it just breaks my heart. And probably the worst hit demographic for this particular problem are unfortunately veterans, because veterans purchase homes zero down. Then they tack on the VA funding fee, which adds another 2 to 3% to their loan amount. And so they have no equity. So if they have to sell, they're in trouble. So we'll talk about that. And as always, our hot new listings. Richard?
You've got it, Barb. Barb, as we wade into this holiday season, what's in store for the future of the area real estate market looking forward?
Well, a lot of these experts that I've been studying recently, some are doom and gloom, some are it's going to be flat, some are it's going to go up. You would not believe the large variety. I research to help people with this show. And at the end of the day, there are signs of what they call a real estate bubble. So you heard that term bubble during the last meltdown, where there was all this unbelievable glee to purchase homes, which kind of happened in 2021 again, because the rates were so low. Now, what was different between the meltdown of 2008 and what happened in 2021 is that the 2021 buyers had to qualify for those loans. The ones back between 2005 and 2008 didn't even have to have a pulse practically to get a loan. So both of those surges caused a big short-term increase in home prices. But I think we're less likely to see prices correct downward that much. Maybe 5-ish% is what we've seen over the past month since the rates were up around 8, but nothing dramatic where we're going to see 25 or 30% drop. Prices in general, especially in Denver and some of those areas, actually are rising faster than the income. So that's why we're seeing a lot fewer home sales going on right now, is that, basically, if they can't afford the payment and they're getting a loan, they're not going to buy a house. That's the problem. So the rates peaked out in October at about 8.06%. When I just checked, just before we hadn't rates are at 7.09. So it did come down about a point from the peak. However, it hadn't really surged in the terms of home sales yet. If we see it drop down into the 6s, I think we'll see some more sales and maybe prices ticking up just a little bit. But in general, my crystal ball says we're going to see a relatively flat first couple of quarters of 2024, not a huge surge. And I could be wrong because I don't know what's going to happen in the future. But what we're seeing right now is about 12% of the home owners that have their house on the market are dropping their price this week. So that means like 48% of people are dropping their price in a month if it's not selling. And only 12.5% of the people are getting contracts. So what does that tell me? 12.5 are getting contracts, 9% are selling, a lot fewer sales going on, which could translate to price reductions. And so because of this, I took a look at what they call migration. And for the first time in actually 30 years, the Denver area has had what we call a net negative migration. People are moving out of there simply because it's just gotten too expensive. They can't afford housing. The rent's too high. They're going other places that are less expensive. And some are actually moving to Colorado Springs. The top counties moving into El Paso County are, many of them are in Denver. Arapahoe County, Denver County, I'm seeing Adams County, Douglas County, Jefferson County. All those counties are moving down to El Paso County. So that could be a good thing. We're a little bit more affordable than Denver. But the number one county that's moving here to Colorado Springs is coming from Arizona. The other thing that we're seeing is the inventory basically has increased over the fall. And that is creating some downward pressure on home prices because there's more homes to compete with. So if you look at the naysayers, they're saying the real estate market is about 23% overvalued. Well, maybe so, but it's really holding. The values are pretty much holding within, I would say, probably 5%. And that's because there's an awful lot of homeowners out there that got those great low interest rates that were going on for the last decade. And so they're thinking twice about moving. And I heard a blogger this morning, which made a lot of sense to me. He basically said, look, if inventory goes up, okay, prices come down. And if the rates go up, the demand comes down. So those two things are almost in direct conflict with each other. So what I predict is what we're going to see probably in the next couple of months. If the rates drop down into the 6s like they did last 2023 in the springtime, you're going to see prices tick up again. If not, if that doesn't happen, and if it just stays like it is right now, what we're going to see is lower demand. People are going to have pressure if they need to sell right now to lower their price to get it sold. But that is partly why we sit down with homeowners and we actually deep dive, not only about their house, but about their zip code, their area. We take a look at what the market's doing to give them really good information about how to position the home to get the most money. And so part of that consultation includes getting all the 4 P's right: preparation, helping them prepare their home for sale, picking the right agent, pricing the home right. And of course, we promote very, very well. It's really important. So we have a free report that will help you get all those 4 P's absolutely correct. It's called the Top 7 Tips to Get Your House Ready to Sell for Top Dollar. You can order that report for free on our website, barbhasthebuyers.com. Go to free reports and download it. But what we're seeing just in the past probably 6 months is a pretty big drop in the median or middle price range, which is giving downward pressure on home prices right now. So if you are thinking of making a move, my name is Barb Schlinker. I'm the broker owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty and the host of this show, Your Real Estate Voice. And we're talking about whether or not homes prices are going to be dropping over the next few months, and actually what home sellers should do moving into the future. Richard?
Barb, we're discussing the current real estate market. You know it inside and out, year after year, and how people can be prepared if they want to buy or to sell. So, what should home sellers expect and do in a market situation just like this one?
Well, we've got kind of a low inventory situation. Okay. And I think that's just going to be the new normal for the next couple of years. And there definitely are some buyers sitting on the sidelines waiting for lower rates before they pick their house. They're just kind of like waiting to pounce if they find a good deal and a good price. So in any market, doesn't matter what's going on, buyers always jump on the best deal. And I think it's a mistake for them to wait for prices to fall, because at the end of the day, we don't know if rates are going to fall. But it is a good indication of where the market is going. So if you see prices come down into the sixes just a little bit, it's going to be enough to cause more demand to suddenly spark up. And that what that means is that they'll have more competition, which most buyers don't like. At the moment, the 30-year fixed rate's just over 7%. It did come down a whole percentage point since October, but so far that has not translated into an increase in demand for homes. And some of that could be seasonality. I think going into the spring is going to be a really good indication of where the rest of the year is going to go. But right now, consumers are very sensitive to any changes in rates. So if the rates drop down in the sixes, just like this previous spring, I think we'll see inventory go down and maybe even see prices go up. So what should sellers do? They should price their home very realistically and make sure that their home is prepared to go on the market, because what's going on is their competition right now absolutely is new construction. And these builders are killing it. They have double market share ever since the rates have gone up. They're offering fabulous incentives, interest rates, buy downs, all kinds of things like that. So you have to have condition to be like a builder. You have to make sure that you update the home enough to compete with new construction. And you have to make sure that you offer incentives or be ready to pay for incentives, because a whole bunch of buyers right now, their offers are coming across and they're asking for as much as $10,000 in concessions to help them buy down the interest rate. But the key is to pick the right agent to help you sell your home, somebody that knows the market and that can help you get your home ready so that you position to get top dollar in a relatively short period of time. It is definitely taking more time to sell homes right now, but that's part of what we do, is give our clients an in-home consultation on what to do to get the most money and figure out exactly what it's going to take so that they can get top dollar in any market situation. My name is Barb Schlinker, and you could call us anytime at 719-301-3900 or go to barbhasthebuyers.com. Richard?
I'm Richard Randall. You're listening to Your Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker. She's the host of the program, and this is Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Barb's the proprietor of that. That is where you'll normally find her. And if you're thinking of making a move, call Barb, 719-301-3900. Or as I said, visit barbhasthebuyers.com. A short break. When we come back, we'll be discussing top 7 negotiating mistakes in real estate and how you can avoid them. Stay tuned for that.